The following program is sponsored by the Today's Home Remodeler television network.
Welcome to Today's Home Remodeler. I'm Stuart Keith, and on today's show, well, we're finishing off our roofing project and installing leaf guard gutters. We'll begin by meeting with Andy Lindis from Lindis Construction as we follow the shingle installation process on this 17-year-old home and learn about the final components in the new GAF weather stopper system. Next, we'll check the attic for insulation, ventilation, and air sealing. Part of a long-lasting roof is a properly functioning attic area, and we'll see why it should be part of the re-roofing process. And finally, we'll check out the installation of leaf guard gutters and find out why it's a perfect way to finish off a new roof on a home. So we have a lot to cover today, and we'll get started after these messages. In our previous episode following this re-roofing project, we learned about the underlayment components that comprise the GAF weather stopper system. We saw how leak barrier was installed to prevent leaking along the ridge, the rakes, valleys, soffit areas, and even where different roofs meet, such as along an addition. We also discovered the new tiger paw underlayment that's being offered by GAF, and we looked at some of the critical flashings that are used in a roof system. And finally, we talked about the new ridge venting being added to this home, and we saw firsthand why it's important to have venting at the peak of a home. So let's meet up once again with our exterior remodeling contractor, Andy Lindis, to finish up the roofing process with the shingle installation on this 17-year-old home. Oh, Andy, I'd expect nothing less, but it's always nice to see the completed roof. They did a great job. Very efficiently yet professionally, they installed this, and it looks just great, especially when you pull in the driveway.
I know, it's going to be one of the first things somebody sees when they pull in here, and it's really going to make a difference. A lot different than the ordinary 3-tab shingle that they had on here before.
You know, and I think a lot of people underestimate the impact from a design standpoint.
Especially in a house that has this steep of a slope, this is something that's going to be very dominant in the looks of the house.
Well, I'm curious about the shingle that they selected here, and then maybe provide some advice and some helpful hints for a viewer out there today looking at their roof and going, boy, do I really need to replace it, and then what style should I go with?
You know, 25 years ago, Stu, you saw everybody had pretty much the same type of shingle, your ordinary 3-tab shingle. It was 3-tab shingle, 3-tab shingle, 3-tab shingle. That's what everybody had. There might be a little variation on the actual colors themselves. That's about it. Sure. And about 10, 12 years ago or so, everybody started going to the timberline, or the architectural shingle. It was, you know, your 5 or 6-tab type shingle, had a little bit more variation. What I've really seen the last couple of years is people start to pick these specialty shapes. What they went with here was the Grand Sequoia shingle. And as you know, GAF has tons of shapes and sizes and colors to choose from here. This is meant to look more like a cedar shake, almost gives you kind of a weave pattern on the actual shingle. Remember the old T-lock shingles you used to see on barns?
Sure.
Kind of reminds me a little bit of that, has that T-lock look to it. Just a little bit variation in the actual style of shingle, but you can see what a difference it makes compared to what a 3-tab shingle. There's so many sizes and colors for people to choose from. You got your Grand Sequoia, Grand Canyon, Grand Slate, Capstone. These are all different styles of types of shingles. What I always recommend to a homeowner is, we'll come out, we have it right on our computer, we can take a digital picture of your house and show you exactly what that shingle is going to look like on your house.
That was going to be my next question. Is there any way that you can help a homeowner visualize the end result? Because you're right, the appearance of the different styles of shingles now can dramatically change the appearance of your home.
Exactly. I mean, when you look at the shingle, without seen it up there, would you imagine what this looks like on a house?
No, not at all. It looks like a pumpkin carved out, the teeth on a pumpkin, but when you look up there, it's absolutely stunning.
Exactly. So it's an excellent tool for us to have. GAF has made this design center for everybody. We just put it right on our computer. We can show people exactly what it's going to look like before you even pound one nail, so they can envision what the end result is.
And that's what you should expect from a professional roofing company. Offer those options, offer those tools to help you visualize the end result. Now, what about the heaviness of shingles? This feels pretty heavy to me. Is that something a homeowner is going to notice between the different series of shingles, whether it's a value shingle or designer type shingle?
It is a lot heavier than an ordinary shingle. You saw how many pallets of shingles we had here to start the job. normal, ordinary shingle, 3-tab shingle, would have been 3 pallets. We had 6 pallets here. It's where we used to be 3 bundles per square of shingles. This is 5 bundles per square shingle. So it's an actual lot thicker shingle, but that's what gives it its depth and make sure that you're going to have the longevity that you need out of the shingle.
Sure, because the weight of the shingle, that's material in there that's actually going to withstand nature's fury at different times throughout the year.
Exactly.
Now earlier, Andy, we were talking about the weather stopper system and all the training and education that went in from a contractor side to make sure the components were installed properly. I assume training and professional installation is important when it comes to shingles as well?
There's so many different types of styles of shingles, specialty shapes out there. Each one of those has a special way it has to be installed or a pattern that you have to follow. You can see the pattern on this roof. If you were to just go up there and slap them on all over the place, it wouldn't look nearly as nice as it does today.
Sure, from an aesthetic standpoint, it's very nice looking. But that pattern also plays into keeping it weatherproof as well?
Exactly. I mean, if you have too many seams that are lining up, that's going to create a chance for water to get to the underlayment. We already know that we have a lot of waterproofing underneath the shingle, but the more water we can keep from it, the better off we are.
Okay, now when we take this shingle and take a look at it, you see there's different things on back, on the front. First of all, when it comes time to nail, are there a certain number of nails that are required?
Yeah, in order to get the maximum wind warranty possible with this type of shingle, you have to put 6 nails for every shingle. That's a lot more than what we used to do 20, 25 years ago.
No kidding, but you want that peace of mind that comes with the 50-year warranty. So again, you need 6 evenly spaced nails all the way across there. What about the back side? I see the tar strips here. Looks more than on the old 3 tabs.
This is the DuraGrip adhesive that GAF uses on every one of their shingles. Manufactured right here in Minneapolis for GAF, ensures that once these shingles lock down, they're going to be very, very difficult to come back up again.
So again, the role of this is you nail it down and then the sun heats the top side of it, melts this, and it literally fuses it to the shingle below it?
Yep, makes all these shingles become one big roof surface.
And again, high winds, you're not going to have to worry if it's installed properly per the manufacturer's specs?
Exactly, only if it's installed properly.
You know, another thing, when we walked around, I noticed the rake, how clean the edge of the rake was going up the gable.
You know, that's one of my pet peeves. When I walk around the house, I look up to the gable inside, or the peak side of the house is what most people refer to, and they see, you know, it just kind of that raggedy edge there.
Takes away from it.
It does. It really does. For a roof this nice, I want it to have every edge as clean as possible, and a couple little things. We want a new roof edge everywhere. On top of that roof edge, we put our starter row of shingles. Now, the starter row is always going to be nice and flat. These shingles have so many tabs and so many intricacies to them, when you cut them, they can be a little bit jagged. But what the homeowner sees, or what you and I see from the ground, is that starter shingle and gives us our nice clean edge.
Again, it's the little things, the attention to detail that's really going to shine through in the aesthetics at the end result.
Exactly.
Stay tuned. We'll continue our project and check out some important roof flashings next, here on today's Home Remodeler.